Good morning, fans, and welcome to Viking Field on the campus of Western Washington University for the second day of the 2024 GNAC Softball Championships. The first game of today is the third game of the tournament. It features number 1 seed Northwest Nazarene University taking on number 2 seeded Western Washington University. The Vikings enter today's game with a record of 40-7 with a national ranking of number 14 in the country. The Nighthawks are 38-8 and ranked number 13 nationally. Prior to today's game, we're going to read off the starting lineups and meet all of the student athletes from both teams. First, for the designated visiting team, the Western Washington University Vikings, the non-starters in numerical order. Number 3, Rachel Traxler. Number 4, Amaya Davis. Number 7, Allie Kimball. Number 9, Kiana Kong. Number 10, Emily McCutcheon. Number 11, Riley Anderson. Number 12, Hanako Hira. Number 17, Evelyn Messina. Number 18, Isabella Bay. Number 20, Layla Carpenter. Number 32, Alexis Slater. And number 99, Paris Delamagore. Those are your Vikings non-starters. Now, here's the starting 9 for Western Washington as announced by head coach Cheryl Gilmore, assistant coaches Sharina Labazan, Leah Francis, Forrest Longenecker, and trainer Thomas Silverberger. Leading off at third base, number 8, Malia Andrews. In left field, batting second, number 2, Lexi Barcom. Batting third at shortstop, number 1, Haley Rapp. Catching and batting cleanup, number 38, Emma Andrzejewski Ramirez. Batting fifth at first base, number 5, Ashley Jacobson. Batting sixth at second base, number 15, Connie Patoy. Batting seventh, the designated player, number 22, Emily Paulson. In center field, batting eighth, number 16, Taylor Karami. Batting ninth in right field, number 14, Mechanic Crum. And in the circle, number 13, Joey Baker. Those are your Viking starters. Now let's meet the non-starters for Northwest Nazarene. Number 5, Kaylee Duncan. Number 6, Emily Romero. Number 7, Alyssa Jeffrey. Number 10, Marie Kamamoto. Number 11, Lindsay Kiala. Number 15, Lauren Bergevin. Number 16, Mia Trailer. Number 18, Olivia Davies. Number 19, Emily Hernandez. Number 22, Andy Swanson. And number 23, Olivia Bailey. Now let's meet the starters for Northwest Nazarene. The Nighthawks are led by head coach Rick Wagner, assistant coaches Ellie Swanson, Brittany Genuardi, and Riley Thomas. At second base, batting leadoff, number 14, Emma Morgan. Batting second at shortstop, number 4, Clarissa Moreno. Batting third and pitching, number 24, Sydney Booth. Batting cleanup at third base, number 3, Abigail Gagnon. Batting fifth at first base, number 12, Emma Bumate. Batting sixth in left field, number 13, Kayana Bell. Batting seventh and catching, number 21, Kelsey Adams. In right field, batting eighth, number 20, Jamie Obringer. And batting ninth in center field, number 9, Ava Clark. Those are your Northwest Nazarene University starters. Umpires for today's first game at home plate, Dennis Allen. At first base, Jake Gomeza. And at third base, Alan Moore. Now, fans, at this time, we ask that you all please rise if able and direct your attention to the flag in right field for the playing of our national anthem. Let's play ball. This is the first of a triple header here at Viking Field for the second day of the GNAC Championships. The game at noon will follow between Central Washington and St. Martin's in an elimination game, and there'll be another game this afternoon at 3 p.m. All information you can browse at GNACsports.com brackets.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Western Washington University. Game 3 of the GNAC Softball Championships. Sean Wally alongside Zen Hill. This matchup will be a good one.
It is a big-time feel here at Viking Field. I mean, these two teams are the favorites when you look at the GNAC Championship, and we're only in the semifinal. This isn't even Saturday. We're not even ready to hand out a trophy, but these two teams are the teams that want that trophy. Western Washington now 40 wins on the season after yesterday, 40-7. Northwest Nazarene 38-8. NNU, the top GNAC team. Western Washington, the second seed. They're clashing here in the semifinal, and it's going to be Sydney Booth and Joey Baker going head-to-head. It was initially scheduled as Gina Skinner to take the circle for NNU. Booth has been now flexed into there, so it'll be the 1.32 ERA of Sydney Booth taking on the veteran pitcher, if you could call her that, Joey Baker, in the circle with a 2.20. The junior will take the circle for the Vikings.
Western Washington, the unusual pseudo visitor in this one, as they are the second-ranked team here in this softball championships. NNU, the top-ranked team coming in. NNU ranked 13th nationally. Western Washington 14th nationally. These two teams, so good, so similar.
It's going to be pretty interesting for Western Washington being on the first base side, at least in their own mental head. You know, they're throwing in the opposite bullpen. They're not used to being in that dugout. Maybe a little bit uncomfortable for them, even though yesterday they got their home dugout, but now being forced to the side that maybe they sweep every other day instead of every day for their own dugout.
Malia Andrews to lead things off for the Vikings.
Yeah, this is a unanimous first-team All-GNAC selection. Malia Andrews, the perfect leadoff batter for the Vikings.
First pitch from Booth, high and outside, ball one to lead things off. Get us underway on triple header Friday.
How about this for Sydney Booth? A 22-4 record in 29 appearances. She has been unstoppable in the circle.
Haven't gotten word as to why Skinner's not out there. Booth threw a great game yesterday, shutting out Central Washington, getting the 1-0 win.
Yeah, her 10th complete game shutout of the season, had 7 strikeouts in 7 innings for Booth.
Two and one the count. Booth doing a little work in the circle there.
It looks like her landing spot just a bit too dug out, maybe a little bit too soft in the dirt. Home plate umpire and Dennis Allen will come out and check it out. Now, maybe for the Vikings, a little bit of a break here. They're 2-0 against Sydney Booth this season, 0-2 against Gina Skinner. And although Sydney Booth on paper is the Nighthawks' best statistical pitcher and has been by the eye test as well, Gina Skinner had the Vikings number when they traveled here to Bellingham in the regular season. So now seeing Booth, the Vikings may be feeling a little bit confident knowing that Joey Baker has picked up 2 victories against Booth when going head-to-head in the circle.
A little bit of field work being done.
A lot of softball to be played here. You know, you're going to get little divots down there in the circle with the amount of pitchers that are going to be throwing innings yesterday, today, and even tomorrow, maybe 2 games. Long day set here for Viking Field and the GNAC Championships. 3 games today.
Count goes to 3-1 on the third baseman for Western Washington. Andrews hitting .344 coming into this one. The 3-1 from Booth, and that is ball 4. Not how Booth wanted to start things off.
Yeah, but exactly how Andrews wanted to start off. Exactly what she does this season. Her 29th walk of the year came into the game with a .446 on base percentage. Leadoff batter gets aboard. She's got 4 stolen bases as well. Not sure the Vikings will be too aggressive in the first inning, but getting Andrews on is a good speed runner to get on first base.
A comfortable 57 degrees at game time. Sunny now, clouds in the forecast, but no rain today. That could change tomorrow. Keep an eye on the weather tomorrow and hopefully get games in before the rain that's forecasted. The bunt to the first baseman, and that is bobbled. Unable to handle that one at first base is Bumate. Vikings in business. 2 on, nobody out.
Your typical lefty slap down, use the speed to get down the first base line, beat it out, make the defense forced to make them have a play. They couldn't get it. Lexi Barcombe gets on, and now the Vikings are looking hot already in the first. They got started early against St. Martin's yesterday. You cannot let this Vikings team score early because the pitching will shut it down from there.
The Viking offense was on point yesterday. They scored 4 runs, the most runs we saw yesterday. The 4-1 win over St. Martin's. 1 strike to Haley Rath, the Viking shortstop. Booth, the 0-1. That's outside and low. Count even, 1-1.
You look back a year ago from today's point, Haley Rath was really the driving force in the Vikings offense, making that run to the GNAC championship game as kind of an underdog last year, despite being, a very historically good program. Haley Rath helped guide the Vikings to a championship game, came up short against this very NNU team, and now the Vikings feel like they might have a little bit more of an advantage this year with how they've been playing.
Rath thought about that one, but laid off the high pitch. 2-1. Booth walked Andrews. Barcombe got a bunt. And she's on first base. That is the first out. Fly out to right field. Rath is retired.
Just a little bit late on her swing from Rath, but now you move down with 1 out, 2 on, and you have the cleanup batter and exactly who you want at the plate with her pop that she brings. Emma Andrzejewski Ramirez trying to crack this game open for the Vikings.
Viking catcher hitting .286 on the season. The home run leader for the Vikings with 15.
Broke a program single season record with her 15 home runs this year.
We did not see any home runs yesterday, so why not one today? The 1-0 with 1 down. Over for strike 1.
High strike to her. Pitchers like to dance around Andrzejewski Ramirez, but with 2 bags already filled, you have to pitch to her here.
Andrews at second, Barcombe at first. Booth, the 1-1. Viking catcher holds off. 2 balls, 1 strike.
The GNAC likes to pitch high and inside to Andrzejewski Ramirez, not let her hands get to where they need to be. You'll see a lot of early swings from the catcher, but when she gets a hold of one, it is gone.
The 2-1 from Booth. Little outside, throw it down to second. Getting back is Andrews.
Kelsey Adams, great defensive catcher behind the plate for NNU today. Also hitting in the lineup, though, but trying to catch the Vikings sleeping early on.
3-1, important pitch from Booth. She doesn't want to load him up, but she does. That pitch way upstairs.
This is not the start that Sydney Booth wanted to have against this Vikings offense. Bases loaded thanks to 2 walks and then a infield hit from Lexi Barcombe, and there's just 1 out here. Ashley Jacobson. Although we talk so much about the top of the order for the Vikings, Jacobson can hurt you just as much with her power and average. She's a first-team All-GNAC selection. Ashley Jacobson finished in the top 10 in the GNAC in batting average, as well as in RBI with 29.
Meeting in the circle is done for NNU. Already, top of the first, a big spot here. Bases loaded for Western Washington, only 1 out. NNU would love a double play if possible. Get out of the inning. Jacobson swings through that, 0-1. Ashley Jacobson, the Viking first baseman, hitting .331, 7 home runs on the season. Bases loaded, full of Vikings. That one fouled out of play.
Division I Stony Brook transfer in Ashley Jacobson. Her first year as a Viking. It'll be her final collegiate year. Celebrated as a senior in her most recent home stand with the Vikings.
Booth's 0-2. She could use a strikeout. That pitch is close, but it's a ball.
Jacobson benefiting from Dennis Allen's strike zone. Sydney Booth wanted to get her second out in the inning, but Jacobson stays alive thanks to the call.
The 1-2. Booth gets the strikeout. Jacobson can't connect. Out number 2.
That's just good pitching by Sydney Booth. You have an aggressive hitter at the plate. You throw her some high cheese. She chased it to start the at-bat, and then you finish it off with the same pitch to get another swing and miss. And now 2 outs down is looking much more friendlier to NNU.
Vikings don't want to squander this opportunity. Bases loaded, only 1 out, now 2 outs. Patoy up now, the junior second baseman for the Vikings. Count is 1-0.
247 hitter is Patoy. 19 RBI.
The 1-0 from Booth. In there for strike 1.
Patoy, a well-experienced player for the Vikings, has been around and been a starter for a very long time in Bellingham. It's players like this that come around when you have these high-pressure games like a championship tournament.
Nighthawk outfielders playing straight away. The 1-1, now 1-2. Patoy cannot connect. A little behind that one.
Yeah, that's exactly how the Vikings batters have been on their swing and misses. It's all behind. Even if they made contact like Haley Rath, she was behind on it. Sydney Booth, a nice job with their fast pitches.
Booth so close to getting out of this first inning jam. The 1-2 with 2 down. Pitch looks good. It is. Strike 3 called. Caught looking is Patoy. Vikings threaten but cannot score after 1/2 inning of play. NNU up next, bottom 1 after this on GNAC.TV.
Nazarene, the second baseman. From Raleigh, California, number 14, Emma Mulligan.
Bottom 1 we go here in Bellingham, Washington. Sean Wally with Zen Hill, the GNAC Softball Championships from Western Washington University. No score. NNU's first at-bats. Emma Mulligan, the second baseman, leads things off. That's Joey Baker in the circle for Western Washington. Throws strike 1.
Baker, an 11-3 record entering today in 25 starts, has pitched the most innings by any Viking this season, and as a result, the most strikeouts with 106 in 127 innings.
0-2 now. That fouled straight back, out of play. You mentioned those 106 strikeouts. More than a 2-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. Just awesome. 106 strikeouts, only 45 walks.
It was an awesome season for Dre Baker. Made the All-GNAC honorable mention team. It was her first selection to an All-GNAC team in her 3 years as a Viking. This was definitely her best career season. Missed some of last year. The start of last year came about halfway in after an injury. Kind of was a bit shaky and now has really found a role as a go-to innings eater with some strikeouts too for the Vikings.
0-2 to Mulligan. She's fouled 2 straight back. That one again fouled away.
Speaking of All-GNAC selections, Mulligan, a first-team All-GNAC selection for the first time in her career as well. The second baseman played a very good season after also returning from an injury, funny enough.
Baker dealing strikes. The 0-2. That one popped straight up. Back our way, just in front of us. You know, Mulligan's right on those pitches.
Yeah, she wants to get on base. This is their leadoff batter that stole 18 bags this season. NNU is an aggressive base running team. Emma Mulligan, with 2 strikes on her, is looking for some way to get on first the way the Vikings did with their leadoff batter, Malia Andrews. Joey Baker trying to pick up her first strikeout of the game and get rolling early as well. Interesting thing, Joey Baker usually starts series for the Vikings, but we saw Allie Kimball yesterday, and now Joey Baker getting game 2 of a quote-unquote series, although it's 2 different teams.
323, the average this season for Mulligan. And that is lofted into right center field. A great at-bat for Emma Mulligan, and she's on first base.
Yeah, look at that. She fought off some pitches, found some back, and then she gets an off-speed pitch. She almost checked on it and then went again and just knocked it, blooped it right into right center field, and now she's on first base, and it's a speedy base runner that Joey Baker, as well as Andrew Jeske Ramirez and Ashley Jacobson, will have to keep an eye on.
A good sign for NNU, who had quiet bats yesterday in the 1-0 victory over Central Washington. That'll be strike 1 to Clarissa Moreno, the shortstop for NNU.
Second team all GNAC for Moreno, at an average of 351, which was 5th in the conference, but also provided some pop to her average with 11 doubles and 4 home runs on the season.
Moreno has some pop, 4 home runs on the year. Baker's 0-1. Runner going to second. The throw down is there in time. It bounced right into the glove. Great job covering by Rath at shortstop.
Looks like
Getting the out. Not sure why she stood on second for a while, but Mulligan thrown out by Rath.
I mean, I will say, I didn't necessarily think the tag was there at first, but Haley Rath got the glove in front of the bag, it seemed. A great throw from behind the plate as well from Andrew Jeske Ramirez.
Throw is right at the base, kind of short hopped. Rath able to scoop it and get the tag.
Coming into today's game, Andrew Jeske Ramirez had thrown out just 3 batters and allowed 29 stolen bases, but gets the speedy runner out.
1-2, 1 down. Staying alive is Moreno. Sydney Booth on deck. The 1-2 again. That's skied out of play. Into the trees.
Baker just struggling to put away these batters, getting them to 2 strikes well, but now just NNU is fouling off pitch after pitch. Joey Baker, a strikeout pitcher, trying to pick up her first of the game still, despite being ahead in some counts.
The 1-2 skied into shallow left field. Racing in and making the catch for Western Washington. That is Bell. 2 down here in the bottom of the first. Sydney Booth, originally the designated player, but moved to the circle.
Star two-way talent, unanimous first-team All-GNAC, of course, is the GNAC Pitcher of the Year, but has proven time and time again in her career that she can do it at the plate as well.
One ball to Booth. Baker fires. Blowing outside, 2 balls. Booth hitting .287 on the season. The 2-0 with 2 down. Getting the strikeout is Joey Baker. No. Was fouled, and they get 2 of those. That one out of play.
Yeah, for Sydney Booth, her 287 average is a bump higher than a 2023 where she took a big step back as a hitter. Of course, in 2022, hit a 372 average in 56 games. Has been down ever since then, but today bumped it back, or this season bumped it back up with that 287.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down, bottom 1. Pitch looks good, but a good eye from Booth. Ball 3.
Was trying to paint on the outside of the plate. Sydney Booth will not chase Joey Baker and gets herself into a full count.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Baker fires home. Ground ball to second base. Easily handled for out number 3. Nice job on the grounder by Patoy. That'll send us to the top of the second. No score in Bellingham on GNAC.TV.
Player, senior from Tiger Oregon, number 22, Emily Paulson.
Heading to the top of the second, no score, Viking Field, Bellingham, Washington. Sean Wally, Zen Hill, thank you for joining us on this Friday morning triple header softball championships today. A lot of sunshine, blue sky currently. No score as Emily Paulson's in the box for the Vikings.
Yeah, designated playering is Emily Paulson, who's a great defensive catcher. You know, maybe you could have thought that Paulson would be the catcher, Andrew Jeske could be the designated player, but it's flipped around. We don't usually see that. But I guess Andrew Jeske already got a count runner stealing on second, so good thing she was behind the plate for that throw. Emily Paulson now with the bat, though, is going to have to do something today.
1-1 the count.
This is Emily Paulson's best career year, 295 average, started in nearly half the games.
Paulson sends one right back up the middle into center field for a base hit.
Back-to-back innings with the leadoff runner reaching for Western Washington. They weren't able to capitalize in the first inning, in which we thought was a rarity for Sydney Booth, allowing that many of base runners. She got out of the jam, showed her composure with 2 strikeouts to end the inning. Vikings, though, continue to roll and get started early in the second.
Bunt laid down right back to Booth. She'll throw onto first base for the out, and Karami is gone, but the sacrifice bunt moving Paulson to second base.
Script looking very similar. You have the leadoff runner reach. They had Lexi Barcombe lay down a bunt. She beat it out. Taylor Karami's speed just couldn't get there. And now runner in scoring position for the Vikings.
Right fielder McKenna Crum for Western Washington with a runner in scoring position. No score here, top of 2. Booth fires home. Strike 1 called.
Crum is not your average 9-hole hitter. Just a 284 average, but 15 RBI, and she has seen herself in many different spots through this order. Very consistent starter for the Vikings, appearing in right field every game this season. Crum has also been clutch when it comes to her bat at times.
Crum Pops one toward the NNU dugout, and that is foul.
Abigail Gagnon just did not have the play on it.
0-2 the count to Crum. NNU doesn't think she has much power. Their outfielders are playing in. The 0-2. Crum strikes out for the second out for Western Washington.
Third strikeout for Sydney Booth through just 1 2/3 innings so far.
Back to the top of the order, Malia Andrews up for Western Washington. Second at bat already, just the second inning, but no score as of yet. Vikings getting hits, just not the clutch ones to get anybody home. Left the bases loaded in the first. Booth, the 1-0. Swinging through that is Andrews. Count even, 1-1. Paulson out there at second, 2 down, top 2, no score. The 1-1. 2 balls, 1 strike now. The 2-1. Fouled straight back to the net.
Andrews, although being such a productive person for this Vikings order, it's a reminder that she is just a freshman, was a unanimous first-team All-GNAC selection, not your GNAC Freshman of the Year. Heather Ebner got that bid, but Malia Andrews did make the first team.
The 2-2. Fouled back our way. So we'll do the 2-2 dance again.
Andrews, a Bothell High School graduate. Played volleyball as well as softball, won a 4A state championship in 2021 playing volleyball.
2 down, top 2, the 2-2. Ball 3. Paulson out there at second. She would love the opportunity to score. Who will strike first in this semifinal matchup between the top 2 teams in the conference? Booth, the 3-2. That's ball 4. She lost her. Andrews to first base.
Yeah, that's just Malia Andrews doing her thing once again. She's seen the most plate appearances in the entire GNAC. She has the most walks in the entire GNAC. Now, with 2 today, she has 30 total walks on the season, and Malia Andrews just continues to do her job in that leadoff spot. Now with runners on first and second, Vikings get a little bit more of an opportunity to extend this inning with Lexi Barcombe at the plate.
Adams went out to chat with Booth. Another opportunity for the Vikings. They left the bases loaded in the first. Now 2 on here with 2 down in the second. Left fielder Lexi Barcombe, her second at bat for Western Washington. Big gap in right center field. That pitch upstairs, ball 1.
Vikings also got to go to the bench to sub off Paulson from second. Now with Layla Carpenter there, she stole 2 bags this year, has been a pretty consistent pinch runner, has 12 scored runs for the Vikings in many pinch running opportunities.
Booth's 1-0. Close, but it's a ball. 2-0 now. Booth needs to find the zone. The 2-0. Way inside. 3 balls now.
And it just seems like we've seen some of these cold streaks from Booth in the circle early on. Started the first slow. She started out the second inning a lot better, but has slowed down now, and the Vikings with 2 outs are trying to load the bases.
And a bad one here will do that. The 3-0. Over for strike one, 3-1.
It's a take all the way from Lexi Barkham. With Haley Rath on deck, you're just looking to move the line.
Booth delivers the 3-1, and that's fouled away out of play. Onto the metal building behind us. We had one foul ball drop into my hands yesterday, off the roof, off the umbrella, and right to me. We got to stay ready, Zen. The 3-2. That one bangs off the building wall right next to us.
Like I told you before we started the broadcast, it's kind of the welcome to Viking Field when you get a foul ball hit at you up where we're trying to broadcast. Definitely me and Adam Race have dealt with a lot of those in our time calling games here in Bellingham.
Count full. Booth doesn't want to lose her. The 3-2. Slow ground ball to second base. The flip to first. Nice play by Mulligan and the Vikings strand two more runners. Bottom two up next. No score in Bellingham on GNAC.TV.
Nazarene. Senior third baseman from Meridian, Idaho, number 3, Abigail Gagnon.
Abigail Gagnon, the third baseman for NNU, to lead things off. Bottom two, no score in Bellingham. Sean Wally, Zenhill, and strike one as Gagnon cannot connect.
Second team all GNAC selection this season for Abigail Gagnon. She was a second team selection as well in 2023 and 22. And an all-conference mention in 2021, a great career for her.
The 0-1, a one-hopper to second base, and it gets on through. Unable to come up with it, Patoy.
Oftentimes we can be generous in our scoring. Probably going to go down as an error on the second baseman, Connie Patoy, which would be a rare mistake, as we saw from Connie Patoy right there. It's just an unusual play there. Patoy came in as a third baseman in Western Washington, has shifted to second base in her career, and has been a very sound glove. And the Vikings unfortunately give up an error.
Ball had an odd spin on it, and it did kind of look like it almost bounced to the side.
It did.
Huge swing there.
It's a hard misdirection. Patoy's going to her left. It goes to the other side, and now can't get in front of it. Just drifted into right field.
Bumate, the big hack, 0-1. Can the Nighthawks take advantage of the miscue at second base? That pitch upstairs. One and one the count. Baker ready. That one's skied to deep center field. Onto the track, making the catch for Western Washington. Karami out there had that one perfect position.
Just a couple feet away from home run number 8 for Emma Bumate on the season. Viking Field kept it in the yard, luckily.
One down here in the bottom of the second. No score in our semifinal matchup. Another big swing. that one from Bell.
This is a tough part of the order to face for Joey Baker. Gagnon, who had a nice day yesterday, led it off, and then you have two power threats with Bumate and Kiana Bell at the plate. Bell hit 6 home runs this year for NNU.
The 0-1. Another swing and miss by the NNU left fielder. 0-2. Baker bringing the heat. The 0-2 with one down. Getting the swinging strikeout. Bell goes down. 2 down now. Baker feeling it out there in the circle.
Yeah, first strikeout of the game for Joey Baker, but she has pitched a solid first 2 and 3rd innings.
That pitch low. 1-0.
Kelsey Adams at the plate, just hit right at that Mendoza line of a 200. Didn't get too many at-bats compared to the rest of the order, just 65 for her.
Runner on first for NNU. The 1-0, fouled straight back.
Now, of her 13 hits, though, 4 of them were doubles. And as I mentioned, stellar defensive catcher, no errors behind the plate, only allowed 3 passed balls. Adam has good value to this NNU lineup. Now in the 7th spot, trying to deliver with her bat.
Baker's 1-1. 1-2, runner going, the throw down. Barely getting there in time. The steal from Gagnon.
Yeah, we talk about an aggressive base running team. Abigail Gagnon is usually not part of that. That was her first steal of the year. She's now 1 for 2 on attempts. Just one other attempt that she takes off, caught the Vikings and me off guard personally as well.
Well, Patoy, you can see her deep in the hole, so she had a long way to go to get to the bag and just got there when the ball did to save it from going into center field. Runner in scoring position now for the Nighthawks with 2 down. Bottom of the 2nd.
In the regular season, NNU had 83 steal attempts, was only caught 14 times.
Wow.
Both those lead the GNAC.
Baker's 1-2. Just getting a piece of that is Adams. The NNU catcher. It's 1-2. Outfielders straight away. Baker's 1-2. Popped our way, coming back near us. Just a few feet to our right. Should ask the teams if we can borrow a batting helmet.
Or a glove.
The 1-2. Looks good. Strike 3 is the call. Baker gets the strikeout to end the inning. Still no score. We head to the 3rd here on GNAC.TV.
Viking, the shortstop, number 1, Haley Rapp.
We move to the 3rd on this semifinal Friday here in Bellingham, Washington. Sean Wally, Zen Hill. NNU, the top-ranked team. Western Washington right behind them at number 2. Western Washington University hosting the GNAC Softball Championships. Rath leads it off here in the 3rd. She pops one up, and that could be playable, and was, but Adams unable to grab that one, so just 1 strike.
Yeah, definitely at first maybe thought it was going to head over the fence and was just not in a position to make a play despite it being in foul territory. In play, Kelsey Adams misses out on a potential easy out against a talented hitter.
Booth's 0-1.
Ooh. Must have hit the bat.
I'm guessing so. Possibly off the knob. So no hit by pitch there, just a strike. The 0-2 from Booth. Sharp grounder to first. Great backhand by Bumate. Out number 1 here in the 3rd.
Another hit the other way from Haley Rath that goes for an out. This one definitely a lot more intentional than her first AP, but still just a weak grounder.
Viking catcher up now. But Adams goes out to talk to Booth.
Sydney Booth so far has thrown 48 pitches, 28 for strikes. 2 innings and 1 out gained so far. Has only allowed 1 hit, 3 walks though, but also has 3 strikeouts of 12 faced.
Emma Andrzejewski Ramirez now. Viking catcher with 1 down here in the 3rd. Huge gap up the middle. Shortstop playing deep in the hole.
Andrzejewski definitely someone that pulls her balls that she hits into the outfield, so not a surprise there from the defensive positioning.
The 1-0. Swinging strike 1. 1-1 with 1 down.
She is trying to crack the game open with that swing. Andrzejewski is looking to go yard in the postseason tournament.
The 1-1. In there for strike 2.
Division I transfer from BYU, Andrzejewski Ramirez came into this season with 2 years of eligibility remaining. We will hopefully see her back next year.
Booth, the 1-2. Count even, 2-2 now. Booth fires the 2-2. That's skied out of play down the 3rd base line. Booth's 2-2. Looks good, but no call from the umpire, so that's ball 3.
Yeah, instead of being her 4th strikeout, she misses the call by just maybe a couple centimeters off that plate.
Booth frustrated with that, no call there. The 3-2. Fouled back our way, onto the building behind us.
Booth has definitely not liked a couple of the calls that she's gotten in the strike zone, despite dealing nonetheless so far early on, holding the Vikings to still 0 runs, despite maybe some trouble at times.
The 3-2 again. That is downstairs for ball 4.
Second walk of the game for Emma Andrzejewski Ramirez. It is the 4th given up by Sydney Booth.
Ashley Jacobson up now for Western Washington. Vikings have had runners every inning, just unable to get the key hit and bring anybody home. 1 down, top 3. Jacobson wanted that one, couldn't connect.
Jacobson went down swinging on strikes her last time to the plate. The unanimous first team all GNAC selection. He's going to talk things over with the GNAC Coach of the Year, Cheryl Gilmore. I think Gilmore probably in her ear telling her that she can, you know, take this at bat slow. She seems a little bit antsy at the plate, really wants to get a base hit here in a game that means a lot, obviously, going forward. She wants to be that player that makes a difference, but sometimes you got to wait for your pitch to make that happen.
One down, top 3. Runner on first. After the walk to Andrew Jeske Ramirez. Jacobson awaiting the 0-1 from Booth. Booth fires home. Count even, 1-1. The 1-1 on the way upstairs. Ball 2.
Jacobson, much like Andrew Jeske Ramirez, returning to their home state to play softball here in Western Washington. A Glacier Peak High School graduate, Ashley Jacobson.
The 2-1 fouled back.
Jacobson's mother, Margaret, was also part of the inaugural WW softball team here at the start of the program in 1993.
Family ties.
Exactly.
The 2-2 upstairs. Just slightly. 3 balls, 2 strikes now.
A lot of family ties when you think about Western Washington athletics. Not necessarily has it been a history in softball, but Jacobson may be starting that trend.
The 3-2 from Booth. Booth gets the strikeout. Jacobson can't connect. 2 down now, top 3 here in Bellingham.
Yeah, it was a low and away pitch to Jacobson. Just chased it maybe a little bit too much. Second strikeout for her. Runner Andrew Jeske Ramirez will stay where she is, just waiting to be advanced. Vikings unable to take advantage of some early base runners in innings so far.
Swing and a miss by Patoy now. 0-1.
Booth, though, has been doing a great job handling some of the pressure. She's staying composed, picking up strikeouts, and finishing off scoreless innings early on.
The 0-1. Close, but a hair outside. Count even at 1-1. Booth fires the 1-1. Another one, marginal right there. Dennis Allen doesn't call it a strike, so 2-1 now. The 2-1 to Patoy, upstairs. A lot of rah-rah coming out of the Viking dugout. 3-1 to Patoy with 2 down. Runner on first. Another one close, but it's ball 4.
Booth shaking her head, maybe wanted a little bit of a call there. Something that she has struggled with so far early on is her command, which has been an unusual situation for her in the circle. Walked just 44 batters this year compared to 162 strikeouts. Now in this game, 5 walks to 4 strikeouts. Sydney Booth, with the runners on first and second, will have to get out of another sticky situation. The Vikings have not capitalized, but they now have Emily Paulson coming to the plate, who had a single in the second.
Paulson with 2 down, 2 on. Paulson fouls that just over the screen.
The brief break there was Emily Paulson being resubbed back in for Layla Carpenter, who was pinch run running for Paulson back in the second inning.
Dennis Allen gets some fresh, bright softballs. There's nothing soft about them, though. I've never understood that.
You know, sometimes there is. If you play in a slow pitch league, they're a little bit more squishy. Not in fast pitch, though. Those things hurt.
That one skied on the infield. An easy play there for the NNU third baseman. Gagnon makes the catch. Retires the Vikings in the third. Again, they threaten, but nobody scores. We'll head to the bottom of the third. All goose eggs here in Bellingham on GNAC.tv.
Leading off the bottom of the third inning for NNU, the right fielder, a sophomore from Newberry Park, California, number 20, Jamie Oberner.
Welcome back to Viking Field on the campus of Western Washington University in Bellingham. Sean Wally, Zen Hill, the GNAC Softball Championships. This is the semifinal matchup. Western Washington and NNU, the Nighthawks. Number 1 seed. Vikings right behind them on their heels, number 2 seed. No score. NNU right fielder Obringer with 1 strike. Count even now, 1-1. Joey Baker in the circle for the Vikings. She delivers the 1-1. That's high. Two and 1 the count.
Following the final pitch of this opening game on this Friday will be Central Washington and St. Martin's.
That ball skied to right field down the line. Nice running catch out there in right by McKenna Crum. 1 down here in the bottom of the third.
McKenna Crum, we mentioned, has come up clutch with her bat at times, but just 1 error in right field. Her speed makes her an awesome right fielder, and that is why she has started every game in that position for Western Washington this season.
Clark, the NNU center fielder, fouls that one away. Clark hitting .257 this season.
This is her first year as a Nighthawk. 46th, start on the year for her. Has some speed as well, stole 12 bags.
Who sends a liner into center field that gets down. Clark with a base hit.
Nicely done heading back to the top of the order with someone like Emma Mulligan who could move you around the bags. 12 stolen bases, as I said. Ava Clark would be on the move, ready to run if Mulligan puts it in play.
Clark at first after the single. Top of the order. Mulligan now with 1 down. Slams that one into center field, and that drops. Back-to-back singles into center field. NNU in business.
Karami was playing deep. Emma Mulligan with 5 home runs. Karami was ready for it to be hit out to the warning track. Good line drive into center field off one hop. Karami fields it, and now there's runners on first and second for NNU with just 1 out. This is the first challenge that Joy Baker has had to face. Pretty clean first 2 innings for her, allowing just 1 base runner in each. Now someone in scoring position with just 1 out, and the 2 coming up with Clarissa Moreno. Vikings decided to take the time and talk things over.
Now the loser of this game has to get a little bit of rest, refuel, and they'll play again in Game 3 later today.
Yeah, it is a huge advantage to whoever wins today. You get to just sit around and watch the following 2 games and then go to work tomorrow. You have to lose twice in a row on Saturday to lose the championship if you are to win this game. So it is a huge advantage. This is a big game as far as advancing in the tournament and trying to pick up a victory in the championship game.
Clarissa Moreno, the shortstop for the Nighthawks. Strike 1 to her.
These teams, though, they are used to playing doubleheaders, back-to-back games, and at least if you are to lose this, you get a break of a game.
Count even, 1-1.
If you're Central Washington or St. Martin's, you got to play a straight-up back-to-back against a hot team that is either Western Washington or NNU pending the finish here.
1 down, 1-1. 2 on for the Nighthawks. Bottom 3. That pitch right there for strike 2. And Baker, if she ever has to bring it, now's the time.
Yeah, this is an at-bat where you're thinking strikeout as a pitcher. Runners on first and second with 1 out. You don't want anything in play that moves them over. You don't want to give up another hit. You're thinking get ahead, get a punch out.
The check swing. Ball fouled.
Wasn't a big check from Moreno. The bat did travel a decent amount, but she pulled it back just in time to keep her alive.
One and 2. 1 down, 2 on for the Nighthawks. Baker fires home. That one skied to center field. The yard's going to hold it in front of the track. Catch is made. Both runners tag up and advance. Nice catch out there in center field. Karami, the catch, the throw into second base. Not in time, though. Nice aggressive move by NNU.
Off the bat, I thought it maybe had a chance, just a bit too shallow, but also good heads-up base running by the runners Mulligan and Clark to get in scoring position for both of them. Just 60 feet away now from the game, or excuse me, the leading run.
2 outs, runners in scoring position. Sydney Booth has 1 ball. Can she come through and help her own cause? Baker fires. Ball 2 now. First base is open.
And I think if it's going to happen early on, this is where it's going to happen with Sydney Booth, 31 RBI for her. You rely on her as your highest talented player at the plate and in the circle.
Baker gets 1 over. 2-1 now.
Great off-speed pitch from Baker.
Important point in this game, the 2-1. Ball 3.
Western Washington has had a lot of opportunities, 7 left on base. This is the first real chance for NNU to take the lead.
Baker ties her cleat. Knows she has to bring it with the count 3-1. 2 Nighthawks on base. That one just blazed in there, 3-2.
Big time pitch coming here in the 3rd inning.
Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Baker fires. Strike 3 called. Baker gets the inside corner. And the Vikings celebrate. We head to the fourth. Still zeros in Bellingham on GNAC.tv.
Leading off the top of the fourth inning, the Vikings, the center fielder, number 16, Taylor Corrami.
We head to the top of the fourth here in Bellingham, Washington. Shawali Zenhill. No score between Western Washington and the Northwest Nazarene Nighthawks. Karami up for the Vikings here in the fourth. Count goes even, 1-1.
So far, Western Washington has made Sydney Booth work for it through 3 innings. She's thrown 69 pitches, 38 of them strikes. To give a comparison, Joy Baker, 51 pitches, but 39 of hers have been strikes.
The 1-1. Fouled out of play. 1-2 now.
Booth, though, has been getting out of some tough jams, picked up 4 strikeouts so far. Mentioned in the end of the third inning, Vikings had 7 left on base so far. That just shows how much they have been unable to capitalize on opportunities to take the lead.
A pitch outside, 2-2.
And that's not just runners on, that's runners in scoring position as well. The Vikings first inning had bases loaded, couldn't capitalize. Runner on second in the second inning, couldn't capitalize. Third inning, same story.
That one way upstairs. Count goes full, 3-2. Booth doesn't want to start the inning with the leadoff walk. See what she can come up with here, 3-2. That one laced into right field. A one-hopper. Karami with a single. Good start for the Vikings in the fourth.
Another leadoff batter reaching for Western Washington. They took a break from it in the third inning, but another base hit to start off a frame for the Vikings. Taylor Karami, that one just sounded nice off the bat and was able to make its way to right field.
McKenna Crum now, the Viking right fielder from the left side. And then you looking for the bunt. Both corner infielders charged in.
Both Karami and Crum have great speed. Taylor Karami, 10 stolen bags. McKenna Crum, a slap hitter.
The bunt is down, but it goes foul. 1-1. Crum will try it again.
In the second inning, Taylor Karami moved over Emily Paulson to second. Crum trying to now give the favor to Karami to put her in scoring position with a potential bunt here.
And then you complaining that Crum was way out of the box. Umpires discussing. And they stay with the play as it was, foul ball. One and one the count. Nobody out. That one into center field.
Oh.
Coming in and missing the ball in center field is Clark, and that's a big break for Western Washington.
And not just that, they had Taylor Cromie stuck between first and second, thinking that ball was going to be caught, and then the throw after the drop was also offline. They could have gotten the force out at second. Just some mishaps in center field by Ava Clark, who has been a sound defender all year.
Got to wonder if she took her eyes off it at the last second, wanting to get ready and make that throw back to first base.
Yeah, it's just uncharacteristic.
Huge opportunity in the fourth for the Vikings. Nobody out, 2 on. That pitch upstairs as we go to the top of the order. Malia Andrews, Viking third baseman. 1-0 the count. The 1-0 from Booth. Skied out of play.
That'll be Ava Clark's third error on the season.
One she'd like to have back. The 1-1 to Andrews. That one right back our way, just over our heads, onto the metal building. Will it roll back down? Had enough steam, it might have got over the ridge of the roof. Booth, the 1-2. Upstairs. Count even, 2-2.
Story thus far for Western Washington has been missed opportunities, but with no outs and the 1-2-3 at least, hopefully with a chance, without a double play at least. This could be a big frame for the Vikings if they can finally find their way to the scoreboard.
And they should. That one will go all the way to the wall. Coming around to score, Karami. Right behind her is Crum. A 2-run double. Now advancing to third is Andrews. And the Vikings are in business.
There it is, cracked right open by Malia Andrews. Her first hit of the game after having 2 walks to start the day. She delivers. What a season for this freshman. And she comes up in the biggest spot for Western Washington in the biggest game so far in their season.
Andrews on that one, laced it to left center field, perfectly split between the outfielders, rolls all the way to the wall. Diving attempt to try to stop the ball out there in center by Clark, but she couldn't grab it before it got to the wall.
And how about Andrews? Wasn't even satisfied with the double, was standing on second, saw the throw go overhead and was like, hey, I guess I'll take third as well. No outs might as well be an opportunity for a sack to score herself.
Lexi Barkham now the left fielder for the Vikings. Another chance at an RBI. Vikings finally strike, and they strike first. It's 2-0. Still nobody out here in the fourth.
Barcombe is 1 for 2 on the day with a single and a ground out most recently.
Booth. Gotta wonder how that arm's feeling. She pitched yesterday in the 1-0 victory.
Yeah, definitely hasn't had as great of command as she did yesterday. That helped her go the complete way. Booth currently sitting at 83 pitches. They're going to talk things over. This has been a 2-hit inning with an error in between the 2 hits from Western Washington that truly fostered those runs for Western Washington. Vikings caught a lucky break.
Two runs in for Western Washington here this inning.
If NNU is to look to the pen, they have Gina Skinner as their #1 option. She was initially scheduled to start this game, but aside from her, Mia Taylor and Charlotte Fornes have seen limited action for NNU with just 18 combined appearances from those 2 pitchers. And they will change. Looks like Skinner will actually come out now. She was scheduled, we mentioned, to start this game. Gina Skinner, 13-2 record with a 1.42 ERA, making her 21st appearance of the season after a shaky start from Sydney Booth that finally exploded with those 2 runs to start the 4th inning so far.
While Skinner takes her warm-up pitches, we'll step aside. 2-0 Vikings here in the 4th.
New pitcher for Northwest Nazarene. Number 2, Gina Skinner. Skinner now pitching.
Back here at Viking Fields on the campus of Western Washington University. Sean Wally and Zen Hill, thank you for joining us for this semifinal GNAC softball championship game. 2-0 Vikings, they strike here in the 4th. Runner on 3rd, nobody out. First pitch by Skinner is a strike. Gina Skinner originally slotted to start this game, and NNU thought differently last minute. You would think trying to hold Skinner for hopefully the championship opportunity tomorrow, or worst case scenario, if they lose this one later on today when they play a second game.
Yeah, but obviously calling upon her, she's someone that has shut down the Vikings, has not allowed an earned run all season against Western Washington. In Bellingham, she pitched 2 shutouts and a 1-0 victory for her team, and then 2-0 on the following Saturday. Vikings looking to hit against her, though.
Rath slaps that one down the 3rd base line, just foul.
Skinner is a unanimous first-team All-GNAC selection this year. It was the first of her career, and rightfully so. In the regular season, 103.2 innings of work, 20 appearances, and a 13-2 record.
I should say Barkham, not Rath. Lexi Barkham with the full count. And she fouls that one. Stays alive. Ball in the dirt. Vikings scored 2 here in the 4th.
Just the slightest tip off the bat of Barkham to keep her alive.
Andrews on at 3rd after the 2-run double, advanced to 3rd on a throw. That ball bouncing off the second baseman. Everything going the way of Western Washington here in this inning. Mulligan took that one off the chest, unable to come up with the bouncing grounder, and it's now 3-0 Vikings, still nobody out.
We saw Connie Batoy have an error on an awkward hop that went maybe side to side. This one, a little bit more vertical, popped up into the chest, and just unable to make the play. Emma Mulligan, a senior second baseman with a rare mishap, and it just seems like a fall-apart inning for NNU right now. 2 errors, if that goes down as an error as well.
Has to.
Official scoring does have it as an error. Lexi Barkham reaching.
All smiles for the Vikings here in the 4th. Finally getting on the board, getting the clutch hit. Big 2-run double by Andrews. She's able to score on that error.
The run will go down as unearned to Sydney Booth with the 2 errors. And wait a minute.
Barkham got...
Looks like the slapper was a bit too ahead of herself.
Ground ball to short. Looks the runner back at 3rd, so it's still 2-0.
Lexi Barcombe, instead of driving home a run, due to stepping out of the batter's box in front of it, is now ruled as a strikeout swinging.
Wow. We'll see if that comes back to bite the Vikings. 2 down now. And the Viking catcher, Emma Andrzejewski-Ramirez now.
It's a huge break for NNU in an inning that seemed like it was just falling apart.
1-1 the count, so Andrews still at third base. Unable to score because of the out-of-the-box call. Outfielders playing deep just in front of the warning track, the 1-1. Count goes to 2-1. The 2-1 on the way. Just a bit outside, 3-1.
Andrzejewski has already walked twice in this game, really not chasing as NNU has not thrown her what she wants.
Skinner's 3-1. Ripped into left field. That will score Andrews. Now it's 3-0 Western Washington as Andrzejewski-Ramirez ripped that one.
Yeah, maybe could have saved the eraser there on my scorecard. Amelia Andrews had to mark her back to third, but now will touch home thanks to an RBI from Andrzejewski-Ramirez. Finally got something that she could put in play and drove it on a hot grounder into left field.
Jacobson in the box now for the Vikings. They lead it 3-0. 2 down here in the fourth. She takes a look at strike one. Jacobson, the Viking first baseman. The 0-1. Ground ball to third. Handled. The throw across is in time. Good play there by Gagnon. And the bleeding stops for NNU. Vikings strike first. They get 3. We'll head to the bottom of the fourth on GNAC.TV. Bottom of the fourth for NNU. Gagnon to lead things off. Vikings lead it 3-0 here in Bellingham. Sean Wally, Zen Hill. Ball one to Gagnon. Baker, so far, throwing a shutout.
Gagnon led off the second inning, reaching on the air from Patoy, then stole second base. Was stranded there, though.
Pitch way upstairs, ball 2. These two teams only played 4 times and split a 4-game series. 2-2.
Was a battle here in Bellingham when these two teams clashed. The first two ranked teams going head-to-head at Viking Field in program history.
2-1 the count. NNU struggled to score yesterday. Just 1 run so far. None here today. That pitch was close, but a ball is the call. 3-1.
Western Washington, number 14 nationally, number 1 in the West region. NNU sitting at number 13 nationally, 2nd in the West.
And that'll be a walk. Baker unable to find the strike zone.
First walk surrendered by Joey Baker in her start so far. Has been good at delivering in the strike zone, but misses to start the 4th inning to Gagnon, who has already stolen a base. Although she is not a typical base stealer, now the Vikings' eyes will probably be on her at first.
Bumate in there now. She gets one through the hole into left field. And then you might be in business now. 2 on, nobody out.
Yeah, it's a good start at least to try and answer Western Washington's 3 runs in the top of the frame. You knew with the Vikings having 7 runners left on in the first 3 innings, it was due to crack open. NNU finally letting up some earned runs, and now will look to try and answer back in their own frame of it. That is Emily Romero pinch running at second base for NNU.
Multiple Western Washington coaches out on the field right now.
Looking at Romero subbing in, she has been a typical pinch runner for the Nighthawks, has scored 3 runs, has 3 stolen bases, and she also pinch ran yesterday in NNU's game against Central Washington.
Meeting at the circle over. Vikings coaches back to the dugout. There is action in the Western Washington bullpen.
Yeah, Allie Kimball warming up through 63 pitches yesterday in 4 innings, struck out 3. And they could potentially go to her if Joey Baker maybe has a bit of a shaky inning here in the 4th.
Strike called on the bunt attempt. NNU looking to advance the runners. Kayana Bell at the plate. She is the Nighthawk left fielder. 1 strike to her. Baker delivers the 0-1. Bunted sharply to third.
Oh.
So sharply that they get the force out. What a play. Good heady play by Andrews at third base.
And that just takes some guts. Throwing down to third on a bunt, especially in softball, not something you see a lot here. Andrews took the risk, and hey, it paid off. If it didn't pay off, the bases are loaded. Andrews trusted in her arm, trusted that Rath would be covering, and they get an out.
That's another key there, too, is that Rath was smart enough to be there for the forced play. Big swing and a miss.
That tells you it's probably something that they have practiced before with a quick turnaround to third to get that force out on the lead runner.
0-1 to Adams. 1 down. Adams didn't show bunt that first pitch. She swings there, and that's a easy pop to short. Rath makes the catch. 2 down for NNU after the inning started so promisingly. They still have 2 on, but again, unable to advance the runners on the bunt and or get a key hit.
Yeah, I think that is going to be a key play to look back on, that Malia Andrews fielder's choice to third when it's 2 runners on. If you get someone at third, at least you can start to chip away, maybe on something in play, maybe on a sacrifice. It is a huge defensive stop if the Vikings can come out clean in this 4th inning.
Jamie Obringer gets a shot to help get the Nighthawks back in this one. They trail 3-0. She looked at strike 1. Baker ready. A pitch upstairs.
Obringer flew out to right field, and McKenna Crum out in right her last time up, just her 2nd plate appearance. Obringer had a nice Thursday yesterday, went 2 for 2 with a run.
Baker's 1-1. Count goes to 2-1. That pitch just a little bit low. Outfielders playing in. Now they back up just a little more straight away. 2 down here in the bottom of the 4th. 3-0 Vikings, the 2-1. Foul to the screen. Two and two to Obringer with 2 down. Stays alive.
Joey Baker has ended the last 2 innings on a strikeout, looking. Could potentially frame one up here and continue that.
2 on for the Nighthawks. They're waiting on a key hit to score some runs. The 2-2. Obringer belted deep to left field. Will the yard hold it? It will. Off the fence. NNU back in the ball game. They score 2. Obringer moves to third on the throw home. Nighthawks have life.
That looked a lot like Malia Andrews, just in a black jersey. 2 RBI double, advanced to third on the throw. I'm getting deja vu.
Barkham, too shallow. Couldn't get to that one. Bounces off the wall.
That is clutch hitting by Obringer, just a sophomore. 15th RBI after picking up 2 there.
We've got a ball game. 3-2. All runs scored here in the 4th. NNU not done yet. They have a chance to tie the game with Obringer waiting at third. 1-0 the count to Ava Clark. Baker's 1-0. Clark looks at strike 1. Nighthawks finally got the clutch hit they needed. Can they get another? The 1-1.
That's just huge props there to Obringer. Having a down season as far as her standards that she set in her freshman year, where she was a first-team All-GNAC selection. Picks up a huge hit in the GNAC championship tournament, exactly what her team needed after 3 runs by Western Washington.
That's fouled away. 2-2 to Clark with 2 down. 2 in for the Nighthawks here in the 4th. Baker's 2-2. Gets the strikeout of Clark, ending the bottom of the 4th, but the Nighthawks get 2 back after 4. Vikings 3, Nighthawks 2. Back after this on GNAC.TV.
Western Washington, the second baseman, number 15, Connie Patoy.
Back here in Bellingham, Washington on this 60-degree sunny day. 3-2 Vikings, all runs coming in the fourth inning. We head to the top of the fifth. Connie Patoy leading things off for Western Washington. Sean Wally with Zen Hill, thank you for joining us.
This is an inning where we see if the offense sticks or if it was just a rarity for these teams to crack it open in the fourth. Gina Skinner will get her first fresh inning against Western Washington, and then we'll see if Joey Baker returns to the circle and try and bounce back from giving up 2 runs in the fourth.
Little flare out to first base, caught in foul ground. Out number 1 as Bumate makes the grab.
Just an unlucky play for Connie Patoy. Don't see that too often be grabbed on a foul ball like that, but good hustle by the first baseman, Bumate, making the grab. And it's an early out to try and slow down Western Washington.
Emily Paulson now. You know what we haven't seen is a quick inning.
We have not. It's been a long game here.
We're at 90 minutes, only through 4 1/3.
Don't these teams know we have 2 more games left today?
And one of them's going to have to play a second game.
Exactly.
Well, 1-1 the count to Emily Paulson, the designated player. Skinner's 1-1. Ground ball to short. The throw across in time for out number 2. Nice job there by Moreno. Quickly, 2 down.
Definitely a more fast inning here. It has been a battle between the hitters and pitchers. Sydney Booth exited the game with 83 pitches. Joey Baker currently sitting at 72. Gina Skinner has been somewhat quick in her work trying to finish a full first frame for her.
Karami up now, shows bunt. Takes strike 1. Skinner slamming that ball in her glove. The 0-1. Get the off-speed motion of that ball.
Yeah, Skinner has some nasty stuff in the circle. We've seen Joey Baker get rolling with her off-speed. Skinner early on already finding her zones.
Ground ball to second base. That one perfectly handled for out number 3. Mulligan makes sure she handled that one cleanly. We head to the bottom of the 5th. 3-2 Vikings on GNAC.TV.
On the circle, number 9, Ariana Call. Leading off for NNU, the second baseman, number 14, Emma Mulligan.
Welcome back to Viking Field on the campus of Western Washington University. Sean Wally with Zen Hill in this semifinal matchup. What a game it's been. 3-2 Vikings lead, all scoring in the fourth. We head to the bottom of the fifth, and Emma Mulligan leads things off.
Vikings making a change in the circle with Kiana Kong. She has been this team's quote-unquote ace, but she hasn't started a game, so I don't know if you can technically give her that name, but 29 appearances, 13-1 record for her, and a 1.28 ERA and 87 and a third innings pitched.
We saw Kong yesterday in the 4-1 victory over St. Martin's.
Kong came in relief of Allie Kimball, pitched 3 innings, allowed 3 hits, 1 earned run, walked 1 batter, and struck out 1 as well as having a wild pitch.
Kong's 1-1. The appeal to first base, she did not go. 2 balls, 1 strike to Mulligan.
Kong picked up second team All GNAC in her freshman year for Western Washington. Came all the way from Campbell High School in Hawaii.
The 2-1. Fouled at the plate. Count goes even, 2-2.
Looking back at what Joey Baker did in her 4 innings, allowed 5 hits, 2 earned runs, a walk, and picked up 4 strikeouts with 72 total pitches.
Vikings a 1-run lead. Bottom 5 in this semifinal matchup. And the out on the throw, strikeout, drop ball. 1 down here in the bottom of the 5th.
Kong struck out 59 batters in the regular season compared to just 14 walks. Picks up her first early on. We saw Gina Skinner in her first full frame out of the bullpen be nice and clean, a 1-2-3 inning. Joey Baker now in relief with Kiana Kong, as Kong will look to try and shut down the same way that Skinner did in relief.
Clarissa Moreno looks at strike 1. Kong grabs at some dirt. Delivers the 0-1. Vikings wanted the call, but they don't get that one. 1-1 now. Kong's 1-1 to Moreno. Count goes to 2-1. Infielders talking to their pitcher. Kong ready with the 2-1. It's ground ball foul. Count goes even, 2-2.
If Kong is to hold on to the lead, would be her 7th save if she goes these full 3 innings. Picked up the save yesterday against St. Martin's.
The 2-2 outside. Full count now, 3-2. Kong rocks back, the 3-2 on the way. Ground ball to third, easily handled by Andrews for out number 2. Sydney Booth, the designated player, started the game in the circle. Now just has to worry about hitting.
And she is 0 for 2 today. Struck out looking in her last appearance against Joey Baker in the 3rd. And Kong is looking to match Skinner with a 1-2-3.
Booth takes ball 1. Kong walks to the back of the circle. She's ready with the 1-0. That pitch looks good, and it is 1-1 now. 2 down. 3-2 ball game. Vikings lead here in the bottom of the 5th. Kong's 1-1 to Booth. Booth skies it to right field. Over in foul ground, making the catch for out number 3. Crum handles that one, and we'll head to the 6th inning of play. Vikings lead it 3-2 here on GNAC.TV. McKenna Crum to lead things off for Western Washington. And she did not make that last out of the bottom of the 5th. That was Barkham in left field. But Crum sees that first pitch and smacks it into center field. She's standing on first base with a leadoff single.
Yeah, that's what you get sometimes from a slap hitter. Maybe weak contact, but right where it needed to be. Placed it up the middle for her first base hit of the game. Second time she's reached on that fielding error in center field last time. Eventually came around to score as well.
Top of the order for the Vikings, Malia Andrews now with Crum on first base. Vikings lead 3-2 and would like more. Like some breathing room for sure.
Andrews delivered in her last time to the plate with her 2 RBI double in the 4th. That scored Taylor Karami and McKenna Crum. Andrews is 1 for 1 on the day with 2 walks as well.
Andrews looks at ball 2. Booth with the 2-0. That's upstairs. 3 balls.
Andrews looking for maybe her 3rd walk. This is the GNAC's walks leader. Was top 3 in the GNAC in on-base percentage. Can also hit it well with her batting average of .338 in the regular season, being top 10 in the conference.
Kelsey Adams out to talk to Booth in the circle.
Today, Andrews picked up her 14th double of the year. Now 27 RBI as well for the leadoff for the Vikings. Western Washington is led by Cheryl Gilmore, GNAC Coach of the Year. An award that, as of late, you could call the Rich Wagner Award, the amount of times he's won it. But Cheryl Gilmore with her Team 32 took that honor this season.
Strike 1 over. 3-1 the count to Andrews with Crum at first base. Vikings lead 3-2.
This was just a record-breaking year for Western Washington. Program record of total wins, which they're still adding on to. Highest winning percentage
Andrews with a sharp single into right field. Vikings in business here in the top of the 6th. 2 on, nobody out.
Yeah, back-to-back base hits. Hit number 2 as well for Andrews. No outs. Good start to this 6th inning to try and provide a cushion for Kanakong in the circle. Finishing my thought, Vikings also broke some records with the longest winning streak to start a season. They tied it at 13, and the largest program winning streak of 17 games straight during the regular season.
Such an incredible feat. Both those win streaks.
It just seemed like they couldn't stop winning. I mean, their 12 conference wins in a row was also a program record. So they just dominated, whether it was non-conference, facing some CCAA teams, Pac-West teams, came to the GNAC schedule and still continued to dominate.
Barkham watches 2 balls.
NNU, though, has been right behind them in everything, and maybe even in front of them at some times. As far as conference plays goes, Northwest Nazarene went 20-4, a better record, which is why they're that 1 seed in this tournament.
Count goes to 3-0 now. Booth having trouble finding the strike zone all of a sudden.
Yeah, we've seen some shutdown innings so far from Skinner out of the pen, ending that 4th inning and having a really clean 5th, and now the 6th having some struggles.
And that's a 4-pitch walk to Barkham. Booth loads them up. Vikings already up 1 run. Nobody out. Good chance they might get more here in the 6th.
Vikings will have chances with Haley Rath here. Andrew Jeske Ramirez on deck. A lot of power in the next couple of batters heading to the plate. You could still call it breakfast time, and maybe we get a grand slam. Not yet, though.
Gonna have a visit in the circle for NNU.
Now, of course, I'm a homer. I'm going to hype up Western Washington, but I also have to give the flowers to NNU. They're looking to win their 3rd straight conference tournament, and the Nighthawks this season, after winning the regular season GNAC title, are the 3rd softball program in the conference's history to win at least 4 regular season titles in a row. They join Cal Poly Humboldt and Central Washington, who both have won at least 4 in a row. NNU currently 2nd in the West region as well, looking to overtake Western Washington. It would be in this tournament where they earn that 1st seed in the West region. But these 2 teams could have their eyes on potentially hosting the West Regional. Viking Field may not be done hosting softball after Saturday, but that'll be yet to see.
New pitcher on for NNU. That is Mia Traylor taking over, the freshman. No pressure, no outs, bases loaded. Here you go. Here's the ball.
Yeah, Traylor coming out of the pen. This is now her 10th total appearance. She's only thrown 22 1/3 innings. Has an 0.63 ERA, but just not enough numbers to make that viable. 0-1 record for her, 1 save as well. Traylor, may be coming in relief here. As we mentioned earlier, Skinner may be being saved in the potential case of a loss and having to play later today.
Rath a chance to break this one open. Takes a look at strike 1 from Traylor. Nobody out. Top 6. Bases loaded for the Vikings, the 0-1. That's lofted into right center field. Racing over, making the catch is Clark. Tagging and scoring. Run number 4 for Western Washington is Crum. 4-2 ball game.
Haley Rath delivered. It may not have gone down as a hit, but it's an RBI for her, and it gives her team now a 2-run lead. A lot easier to pitch in that circle if you're Kanakong with 2 runs as a lead instead of just 1 where a home run could potentially tie the game. Now a bit of a cushion, but a chance to even add still.
1 down now for the Vikings. Andrew Jeske Ramirez at the plate. 1-0 the count. 4-2 Western Washington in this semifinal GNAC softball championship game. The 1-0. Down low, 2-0.
Andrew Jeske Ramirez picked up her first hit of the game on an RBI single in the fourth. Was walked her 2 previous plate appearances. Already ahead in the count now in her 4th time to the plate.
The 2-0. Very close, but it's a ball apparently. 3-0 now. Trailer doesn't want to load the bases again. 3-0 on the way, and that is ball 4. Vikings at every base.
Jacobson will have to come up big here with 1 out. Avoid everything but the double play. Jacobson is 0 for 3 in the game. She's 0 for 6 in the tournament so far, looking for her first hit in the postseason in a big spot with them all juiced up.
Jacobson right back to the pitcher. She throws home for the force out. Nice job by Trailer. Base is still loaded for the Vikings, but 2 outs now. Connie Patoy with a chance to break this one open for Western Washington. Trailer fires home. Right there for strike 1 over the outside corner.
Patoy is 0 for 2 with a walk. Struck out looking way early in the first inning. Connie Patoy has 19 RBI entering today.
Trailers 0-1. Just missing. Count even at 1-1. Bases loaded, full of Vikings. The 1-1. That's over for strike 2. Patoy yet to pull the trigger. 1-2, 2 down. Top 6. Vikings scored 1 already. Bases loaded. 4-2 ball game. Patoy gets a piece of that to stay alive. The 1-2 from Trailer. Skied into foul territory. Will it stay in play? No.
Good job by Patoy to stay alive behind in the count. Mia Trailer struck out 14 batters in 9 appearances. A punch out would end the inning.
Western Washington Athletic Director Jim Stirk here, watching his Vikings play and host this championship. The 1-2 right there, but strike 3 not called. That'll be ball 2 instead.
Very successful year for Western Washington Athletics.
The 2-2 with 2 outs. Skied into right field. Waiting for it and making the catch. NNU's right fielder, that's Obringer. And that ends the Viking threat in the 6th. They plate 1. It's 4-2 Vikings as we head to the bottom of the 6th here on GNAC.TV. Bottom of the sixth for NNU. They trail the Vikings 4-2. Sean Wally with Zen Hill here in Bellingham at Viking Fields. This GNAC softball championship semifinal. Gagnon takes a look at ball one.
Just 6 outs needed from Kana Kong to pick up the save for the Vikings and advance themselves to the GNAC championship game, which will be played tomorrow.
The 1-0. Ground ball to second base. Easily handled for out number one. Patoy down to a knee. One down for NNU in the sixth.
Kong has gained 4 outs with 16 pitches. 1 strikeout for her and a good start to the 6th inning with a quick 1 out.
Most likely that means that Kong's around the strike zone.
She pitches well. Definitely attacks the strike zone. She's been the top Vikings pitcher. And when she comes out of the bullpen, you know, it's our go-to when we want someone to close out a game. Kong has been clutch. And that's what they're looking to have her do in these last 3 innings. And so far, on her way.
The 1-0. Over for strike one.
Bumate 1 for 2 today. Had a single in her last time to the plate.
The 1-1 to Emma. Ground ball to short. The long throw across in time for out number 2. Haley Rath handled that easy. 2 down for NNU in the sixth.
It was a nice grab as well at first from Ashley Jacobson, who has been a near flawless defender at first base. Just 1 error in 292 chances in the regular season for her. Made a nice grab for out 2.
Kong in the zone. Gets strike one. To Bell, the left fielder for the Nighthawks. Kong's 0-1. Fouled straight back. 0-2.
Something Kiana Bell has struggled with this season is swinging and missing. 26 strikeouts in the regular season, which was the highest on the team. Kong with 1 punch out in her appearance out of the bullpen so far.
Kong's 0-2. Ball one.
Kong has sat down 5 straight from NNU, and that's the top 5 in the order as well, trying to make it number 6 here.
The 1-2 on the way. Count even now, 2-2.
It's good discipline from Bell. Has already struck out today, is 0 for 2, reached on a fielder's choice in the 4th.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the sixth. The Vikings wanted that one, don't get the call. Count goes full.
Hey, it's been a tight strike zone both ways from Dennis Allen, even for both pitchers. Maybe have missed out on some strikeouts they thought would have been calls. Maybe in the regular season they were calls, but now it is tightened down.
Kong would like to get out of the inning. The 3-2 fouled away.
Kong, who has been making quick work in her first battle here with Kiana Bell, trying to extend the 6th inning as the outs count down for NNU. Double elimination tournament. Western Washington would have a huge advantage without a loss heading into Saturday, facing whoever would meet them pending the next 2 games played here today at Viking Field.
The 3-2 close, but no cigar. That's a walk to Bell. She's on first base.
No horseshoes or hand grenades here at Viking Field. That's a walk. Close, but not enough for Kanakong. First base runner given up by the Viking pitcher out of the bullpen.
Kelsey Adams now. She takes a look at ball 1.
Adams is 0 for 2 today. Had a very quick at-bat in the 4th where she popped up to the infield at Haley Rath.
Adams would like to get a hit. Nighthawks need 2 runs. They trail 4-2. Strike 1 over. 1-1.
Tying run at the plate for NNU. Adams has not left the yard at all this season.
The 1-1. Gets the corner. Strike 2. 1-2 with 2 down. Bottom 6 here in Bellingham.
Both pitching staffs with 5 strikeouts apiece for each side. Kong with 1 in relief.
Kong's 1-2. Ground ball, third base. Throw across in time to end the inning. Good play by Andrews on that grounder. After 6 innings of play, Vikings 4, Nighthawks 2 on GNAC.TV. Final at-bats for Western Washington. They are the pseudo visitors in their own ballpark.
Yeah, it's really messed up my scorecard. I put them on the wrong side, so I've been flipping the wrong page half the game.
And you've survived.
I have survived.
Good job.
Close enough.
Sean Wally with Zen Hill. Vikings hosting the GNAC Softball Championships. The winner of this one gets to take the rest of the day off. Unlike us, we're here for 3 games.
Yes, we are.
And this game's already gone long, over 2 hours. The loser has to stick around and play the 3rd game of the day, which will be their 2nd.
Game 3 of today initially scheduled for 3 o'clock, but with Game 4's schedule of 12:30 likely being pushed back pending the finish of this. We'll likely see a pushback of the 3 p.m. slot as well, unless there's a quick battle between SMU and Central.
Emily Paulson has the count even on her, 2-2.
Paulson is 1 for 3 today, had a single to start off her day, but has gone 0 for 2 since at the plate.
Mia Traylor delivers the 2-2. That's fouled away out of play. The 2-2 again. High and outside. Count goes full.
If the Vikings do go on to win this game, it'll likely be Allie Kimball in line for game 1, potentially on Saturday. She pitched on Thursday, and with Joey Baker starting things here on Friday, Kimball is in line for the start.
Paulson got a piece, staying alive.
Vikings could go double down on Joey Baker, though, in game 1 and save Kimball if there's a necessary game 2. It'll be all up to the GNAC's Coach of the Year, Cheryl Gilmore.
Paulson hanging in there. 302 average on the season. Full count yet again. A soft one that the first baseman cannot handle. A diving attempt out there in the dirt by Bumate. Unable to snag it. Tough decision there because it was hit so softly. Would have been tough for the second baseman to charge in and get that. Bumate, the diving attempt.
Yeah, she had the read on it, had it in her glove, but her glove hit before her body and just too much force pushed that ball out of the glove. It did go down as an official scored single, though, not an error on Bumate. So it is instead hit number 7 for Western Washington on the day instead of error number 4 on NNU. We have Rachel Traxler at first base for Western Washington, pinch running.
Taylor Karami now for Western Washington with Traxler pinch running at first base. Vikings lead at 4-2 here in the top of the 7th. Shows bunt, takes a strike.
Traxler is another one of the Vikings' go-to pinch runners, has 8 runs on the year, 1 stolen base for her freshman season out of Bothell High School.
Trailers 0-1. Count goes even. Very slight breeze here in Bellingham this afternoon. The 1-1. 2-1 now.
Bounced away for a moment from Kelsey Adams. Not enough for Traxler to be aggressive trying to grab second.
The 2-1 from Trailer. Hit right back to her. Double play opportunity. They get the force at second, but they cannot get Karami at first.
Yeah, too much speed for Taylor Karami there. Center fielder, obviously, you know she's going to be fast. Karami, that's one of her best qualities. Was used early in the season as a pinch runner, has now found herself actually getting at bats towards the back half of the season for the Vikings. She'll now stand on first with 1 out.
That one hit down the third base line, but foul. McKenna Crum.
Crum's day has involved a 1-for-3 outing, 2 runs, reached on an error and scored, reached on a single most recently and scored in the 6th, thanks to the RBI sacrifice fly from Haley Rath.
Strike 2 over from Trailer.
Crum did strike out swinging in the 2nd inning to start her day against Sydney Booth, the starter.
4-2 Vikings. 1 out here in the top of the 7th. The 0-2 to Crum. She smacks that to right field, backing up nicely, making the catch for NNU is Obringer. 2 down here in the 7th.
Back in the 4th inning when McKenna Crum reached on the air to center field, it was Ava Clark playing so shallow that got the out there. This time it almost looked like Obringer was a bit too shallow and it might have gone over her head, but instead good enough on her feet to back up and make the play. That was a nice hit ball by Crum, just in the wrong spot.
Andrews now, top of the order. 2 down, top 7. Viking Field in Bellingham, Washington. Sean Wally, Zen Hill.
5th plate appearance for Malia Andrews today.
The 0-1 upstairs.
And she is perfect. 2 for 2. 2 walks, a double, a single, 2 RBI, and a run.
That's a heck of a day.
It is a phenomenal day for the freshman.
The 1-1. Just outside. 2-1. Trailer, the 3rd pitcher used today by NNU. She's ready with the 2-1. That's outside as well. 3-1 now. 2 down. Top 7 with Traxler pinch running. She's at first base.
And the use of 3 pitchers in today's game just really speaks for how the Vikings have hit well on this Friday morning.
Little comebacker again to Trailer. She fires to first for the out, and that ends the Vikings here in the 7th. They lead it 4-2. Final chance for NNU up next on GNAC.TV.
Now for NNU, the right fielder, number 20, Jamie Obringer.
Welcome back to Viking Field in Bellingham, Washington, on the campus of Western Washington University. Sean Wally with Zen Hill, the semifinal matchup in the GNAC Softball Championships. Final ups for NNU unless they score 2 runs or more. They trail 4-2 to the Vikings. Winner advances to the finals tomorrow. Loser has to stick around and play in the 3rd and final game of the day later this afternoon. The 0-1 to Obringer. Count 1-1 now.
Obringer is having herself a nice postseason. 3 hits over 2 games. Picked up the 2 RBI double her last time to the plate.
Outfielders straight away. The 1-1.
Kong looking for a shutdown inning. She has been quick so far, has faced a total of 7 batters with 6 outs. Allowed just 1 walk, 1 strikeout for her. No hits against Kong entering this 7th inning.
Kong's 1-2 to Obringer. Outside.
She's facing the bottom of the order with 8, 9, and then 1 coming up. But between Obringer and Clark, they have 2 of the Nighthawks' 5 hits today.
Kong set with the 2-2. Obringer hits it right back to Kong. Quick flick over to first, and that's 1 down for the Nighthawks in the 7th.
2 to go for the Vikings to advance to Saturday.
Center fielder Ava Clark now from the left side for the Nighthawks. Big hole up the middle. Strike one to Clark.
Clark had that costly error in the fourth inning that set up the 3 runs to be scored for Western Washington thanks to Malia Andrews and Andrew Jeske Ramirez cleaning up. Clark will now look to her bat to try and get some back for herself and for her team.
Ball 1 to Clark. 1 out, bottom 7.
She's 1 for 2 today with a strikeout and a single.
Left fielder and center fielder for the Vikings playing in. Right fielder appears normal depth. A shot to short. Nice diving stop. Throwing from her knees, but not in time. Good hustle up the first base line by Clark, but what an effort by Haley Rath.
Haley Rath, someone that came into college without playing shortstop ever in her career and has just been an amazing glove over the last 2 years there. Was forced out of her comfort zone in her freshman year, and she has started her entire career at shortstop every single game for the Vikings. Will go down as an infield single for Clark.
Top of the order for NNU. Mulligan, tying run at the plate. 4-2 Vikings, 1 strike to Emma. Vikings need 2 outs to advance to championship Saturday. Mulligan swings through that one, 0-2. Quickly. Kong looks like she's amped up, feeling it out there in the circle.
She wants to close this game out. She loves these moments. Only her freshman year, but has been such an impact player. Picking up save after save, looking for number 7 here. 2 outs to get it. Double play ends it.
Kong's 0-2. Outside.
Kong looking for a chase ahead 0-2, just a bit too far off the plate to try and get Mulligan fooled, who has had a nice day with 2 singles, but struck out most recently.
Mulligan awaiting the 1-2 from Kong, and there it is. Skies it to right field. Shallow. Second baseman calls for it and makes the catch. That's Patoy. 2 down for NNU.
Here we go for Western Washington. 1 out to do it. 1 out to guarantee your spot in the GNAC final.
Possible last chance for NNU's Clarissa Moreno, their shortstop. Nighthawks trail 4-2.
She is the tying run at the plate. 4 home runs, 22 RBI for her.
A runner on first for the Nighthawks. That's ball 1 to Moreno.
Moreno 0 for 3 today. Flew out to left center and grounded out most recently to third base.
She'd like a fly ball now, but a big fly. Be a huge spark to tie this game if she can do it. Ground ball to third. This should do it. The throw across, and Western Washington advances to championship Saturday with a 4-2 victory over NNU.
Just a phenomenal game for Western Washington. Joey Baker gets the win. Kayana Khan gets the save. Western Washington picks up a victory thanks to Malia Andrews' 2 for 3 day with 2 RBI and a run. Emily Paulson, a 2-hit day as well. McKenna Crum picked up a hit and 2 runs. Vikings a 4-2 victory. The loss goes to Sydney Booth. Gina Skinner and Mia Traylor could not keep the Vikings away, and it's a 4-2 victory. How about that?
It all happened in the 4th inning. 3 runs scored by Western Washington, and they never looked back. They win it 4-2 to move on to the championship round tomorrow. What a game. A long one, but it was fun.
It was.
Western Washington wins it 4-2. NNU will play in game 3 of the day later this afternoon. Potentially 3:30, somewhere in there. And our second game will start at 1 p.m. So take a break, come on back. We've got game 2 at 1 o'clock. For Zen Hill, John Altenhoff, and I'm Sean Wally. Thanks for tuning in on GNAC.tv.